so that we can get this ended and we can get out in the weather that's turned for us and get out to dinner before it gets too cold and have some fun. Not that I want to end my reign quickly, but it will be over in about 15 or 20 minutes here. So, anyways, I'm Dave Rakauskas, current chairman of the board since a lot of you are general members. You maybe don't know me. One of the owners of Colonial Saw. We import stringing panel saws and mellow biscuit joiners, and we sell grinding machinery. Been involved in WMIA for 22 years. I've been in the industry. Been on the executive committee for the last 6 years, rolling off the chairman position today. So the WMIA would love to have as many members as possible. One of my goals 2 years ago was to try to drive membership, and my other primary goal was education. We've done a great job in both areas, really. Membership has gone up 21% in the last couple of years and 60% in the last 4.5 years since Larry's been around, which is tremendous. Attendance is good, engagement is good. So if you're one of those 70 new members or so that we've got in the last 4 years, I want to explain to you how you can get involved more. We have the Membership Services Committee, which looks at, you guys are going to get a chance to talk and sit at all the tables and see what all these guys do, and I'd encourage you to make sure you stick around for that portion. But Membership Services is basically looking at things like credit card processing and get you guys referrals, networking, distributor forum like we had next door, let the distributors talk to each other. That's the type of stuff that they try to drive. Education tries to drive education of the industry in general and kids and getting kids involved in the industry, but at the same time it also tries to educate ourselves, teaching our salespeople, teaching our own technicians, teaching our own customer service people and making us more professional companies. ISO standards, we just heard a little bit from Dart Meadow. We have a committee that works on safety standards and trying to elevate the level of machines that we produce and sell. National Affairs advocates on behalf of all of you guys in Washington and even local levels of government. Technology Committee, there's a presentation tomorrow morning that should be great on AI, but we've always done, our technology committee's kind of tasked with going out and trying to figure out what's the latest technology that everybody's using, try to make it a practical approach to how can this affect my own business and what are other people using right now that's helping them that I need to know about. So we try to add some value there. And then we have the marketing committee, which tries to elevate, two things. Try to convince customers that, hey, invest in machinery, buy from our guys, and also try to market and develop the WMIA as a brand so that if you pay $300 or $600 for your membership, that some people say, wow, you're an MIA member, I need to buy my stuff from you because you're educated, you're committed to national affairs, you're up on technology, you guys have your stuff together. So any one of those areas you guys can get involved in usually starts by being a committee member, then maybe a committee chair, then a board chair, and then on the executive committee, and before you know it, you'll be standing here. So, anyways, thank you very much. I'm very proud of our education committee. We started a technician training, so if you haven't heard yet, we have a training where we partner with Pittsburgh State, where you can send your technicians, both new and experienced, out there to learn more about machinery. That's an exciting new thing that we've added. There's something called the WIC group, which is us, MMA, AWFS, KCMA, AWI, a whole bunch of industry associations are trying to elevate the wood industry in the perception of the parents and kids of America and trying to help fill the skills gap. We're doing our part there. We're doing our part there both financially and time-wise. Those are both exciting education type things. We do have sales training that we've had for a while at Pitt State that you should know about, and when you go to the tables you'll know, and I already mentioned membership. So those are my two goals, education and membership, the areas I wanted to focus on. I think that we've done a good job, and a lot of the thanks needs to go to our staff and the guy I'm going to introduce next, which is Larry Hoffer, who's our president and CEO, came in 4 years ago, really got our act together, has done a tremendous job. And if you haven't met him yet, please introduce yourself to him. He does a good job. We all need to thank Larry for the effort and for making our lives easier and elevating our industry association to where we are today. So without further ado, Larry Hoffer.
Thanks, Dave. Hi, everybody. So Saturday was actually my 4-year anniversary with WMIA. And I actually went to my first WIC 3 weeks into my job in San Antonio. So it was this is my 5th WIC. And, you know, what interested me about this job, I'll admit that I didn't know much about this industry, but I was excited by the opportunity to help make change happen in this association. The members of the search committee told me that the association in a lot of ways was broken and needed to be fixed, and that's the perfect challenge for somebody like me. I'm really, really proud of what we've accomplished in 4 years, and that wouldn't be possible without the participation of so many of you that are in this room. People that have served on the board, people that have served on committees, people that have volunteered their time, and mostly people that have just sent in emails or calls and said, hey, you know what would be really good is if we offered X, Y, and Z. I want to encourage you to keep doing that. I mean, we're in a great place. WMIA is a really, really strong association. We're much stronger than we've ever been before. And, but the possibilities are still there to get stronger and get better and grow larger and offer more programs. But that starts with all of you. So I would encourage you at any time to pick up the phone or send me an email or respond to an email, because you know that I send a lot of them. One of the things about WIC, it's always fun to run into people that I've never met, and when I introduce myself, they say, oh, you're the guy that sends me a lot of emails. There are at least several of you in this room that have said that to me this very WIC so far. But your ideas are what drives this association. We can only do so much. I am grateful for the support of the board and the executive committee. I want to thank Dave for his leadership over the last 2 years. Dave was one of the people that was on the search committee, so he was one of the first people that I met when I interviewed for this job. He was one of the first people that called me to congratulate me when I accepted the job, and spent some time with him within the first couple of days that I started up in Connecticut, trying to figure out how many members we had and how the database worked and what the heck was going to be moved from Connecticut to Virginia. So it's been great working with you. I look forward to working with you for another 2 years. I want to thank Scott Muller. Scott became the chairman of the board 3 weeks after I started, and so essentially he just let me have free reign and gave me a lot of trust and faith, and I appreciate that. And I'm very much looking forward to working with Jim over the next 2 years. I would not be standing here, honestly, if it weren't for the support of the staff that I have. Both of my staff are new. This is their first WIC, and luckily they don't look nearly like the deer caught in headlights that I did 4 years ago. But for those of you that haven't had the chance to meet Jody Allen or Patricia Crisologo, they're over here. They're terrific. They do fantastic work, and so I'd just like to applaud them for all of their efforts. This job is a lot of work, but it's really easy because you guys are great to work with. And honestly, we're here to serve you. So if there's something that we're not doing that you want us to do, if there's something that you think we should do better, or if there's something that you just think we should try, I encourage you to pick up the phone or email us and let us know. Because we don't say no as much as we should, probably. But really, thank you all very much. I appreciate the friendliness and the support that you've given me over the last 4 years. And I hope it's been a great week so far. I hope you have a great rest of your conference. And again, thank you very much. With that, I will introduce our treasurer, Pascal Doucette.
Good afternoon. So as Larry said, my name is Pascal Doucette from Doucette Machinery. So I'm here to talk about the numbers. So I would start by saying that your association is in good health on the number side. So basically, IWF was, when we made our budget this year, we budgeted IWF revenue to be 1.5 million, and we ended up with a 1.7 million return instead, which is good. The operation expense were right on the budget, even if we had to move the headquarters or location, we had to change our staff, but we were right on what we planned. There was two downsides in our numbers, which was WIC, which we went over budget, but I think everybody was there had fun. And the other reason why we went over budget is because we had more person than we planned. The other thing was our investment money. If you watch the stock market, you know at the end of the year this year, November, December was a bit of a bad month. So we went down by about 200,000, but January, February, we made that number back. So we're even for where we were early November. Overall, if you're not for that, the extra money from the IWF that the payment just came in, we're already sitting with $4 million in the investment account, which gives us a reserve of about 4 years, if we were not having no revenue at all. So, if there's no other question, I will pass it on to John Anderson.
Good afternoon and welcome to everybody to WIC 2019. I am currently the chairman for the membership committee for another 15 minutes, a lot of that going around. Pleased to announce that I think it was mentioned earlier, we have had due a lot to a great staff, great committee members, and a lot of the importer members that have helped bring us prospective members. We have grown the membership about 61% over the last 5 years. And as you can see by the numbers, 63 importers, 54 distributors, 57 associates for a total of 174 members. That changed about 8 minutes ago when we got another fine Tom Strickfaden with the lease company. So welcome, Tom, and thanks for making us 175. That said, I look forward if anybody has any questions. If not, hashtag 200 in 2020. Thank you.
Hello everyone, didn't really plan this before coming down here. I'm not supposed to be up here speaking yet, but sometimes we have unfortunate things happen in our industry. Some of you may have heard, we lost a 45-year veteran of our industry, Jerome Hilverford, from J.J. Hilverford Woodworking Machinery in Jasper, Indiana. Died last Thursday at the age of 78. He was a long-term member of this association, gave a lot of time to it, and mentored me for 15 years. So I just want to show my respects to Jerry Hilverford and his family, who all remain intact. And you know, trying to learn from Jerry, and anybody ever travel with Jerry, you're lucky to still be standing here, because if you ever rode with him in a Suburban, it's quite a challenge. So those are some of the fun memories I had, but he taught me a lot. What are things to do right among these organizations that we're in, and I just wanted to show my respects real quickly. So that was it.
Thank you, Rick, for that tribute and your thoughts on that from everyone. I'm Jason Howell. I am one of the 3 IWF reps for the WMIA side. As you all know, WMMA and WMIH each have 3 representatives. I share that position with Andreas Muehlbauer and Madison Burt, and the 3 of us help manage the IWF team. We've just recently implemented some strategic planning for the IWF team, and we've got some interesting news coming up from those guys on 2019 initiatives and 2020 initiatives. But first, let's have Kevin Holtzclaw, the IWF president, come up and give us a recap also of how 2018 went, as that is the primary influencing reason we're all here. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Jason, and I think everybody can attest how great IWF 2018 was for all the companies, all of our exhibitor customers and attendees coming to the show. And as Pascal mentioned, that deposit into the bank probably helped things look a little bit rosier as well. But looking at some quick numbers from 2018, we had 1,039 exhibiting companies, and they took 615,874 square feet of space. You compare that to 2016, we had 1,079 companies taking 532,565 square feet of space. So space growth 15% larger than 16, 3% less exhibitors. 308 international companies in 2018 from 41 countries. 2016, 320 international companies from 38 countries. As far as association space goes, WMIA for 2018, membership took 249,873 square feet of exhibit space for 83 companies, compared to 2016, 192,355 square feet with 79 companies, so quite substantial growth on the square foot. For WMMA for 2018, 116 companies taking 108,648 square feet versus 2016, 121 companies taking 95,793 square feet. So IA 5% increase for companies and 29% increase in paid space. WMMA 4% decrease in number of companies, but a 13% increase in paid exhibit space. For the 2018 registration numbers, total at show attendance 27,805. That breaks down 18,397 verified buyers and 9,408 exhibitor personnel. That represents an 8% increase in the verified buyer attendance from 2016 and a 2% increase in total at show attendance over 2016. For 2018, there were 89 registered editorial press representing 61 publications versus 16, 87 registered press representing 50 publications. International attendance, just about the same. Normally represents 10% of our show attendance, and this was no different in 2018. 1,845 was 10% total and compares to 1,842 in 2016. In total, buyers from 82 countries were represented in 2018 compared to 81 in 2016. Now, moving on to 2020. From conversations at WIC and different recommendations from especially this association and the board of directors, the space assignment process that we've used in past IWF shows was creating some issues, so we were given the opportunity to make a change for 2020. And instead of sending all of the materials out at one time to all the exhibitors for the applications and a blank floor plan, this year what we did was send out in staggered groups of seniority levels. For example, like 25 seniority group down to 20 seniority group would receive their application and a link to go onto the live floor plan to be able to look and select space initially. What was different, you also knew you had 2 weeks to look at the floor plan, and then 1 week would be the assignment week. So you knew within that window, if you wanted to talk to IWF, you could also put on your application, give us a call, talk about space. You could also watch the assignment process live. Names were being populated on the floor plan each day as we assigned the seniority groups. And then each successive group was also given 2 weeks and then a week for assignment until we get down to the seniority groups where we are now, the 2s and 1s. So far things have worked very well. We've had a lot of good conversations with our exhibitor customers. It's been interesting what spaces they had thought they might have wanted changed once the floor plan was populated and they could see where either competitors or like customers of theirs were located, and also some space increases as well with that process. But as I mentioned, we've now got down for the applications received for seniority groups 25 down through 3 as of March 29th. We'd signed 423 exhibiting companies. to 475,996 square feet of exhibit space. And as I mentioned, we're going through the process right now with seniority groups 2 to 1, which will take us till April 26 approximately, since those 2 groups alone represent 662 eligible companies in the seniority process. So it takes a little bit longer, a lot more conversations, smaller spaces, so a lot more things to consider. Now, of those group, the 25s and to the 3s, we do realize not everybody comes in during the assignment, the priority assignment process. So of those eligible companies, there were 229 that still have not returned their applications. Some of those could be at the meeting and one side or the other here, but there were 12 WMI members that had not returned their applications and 16 WMMA members. So if something might have slipped through the cracks or you have not been able to make a decision yet, please stop by to see me or Jim Wolfco here tomorrow at our contact table. We'll have the floor plan live. We can look at space and try to go ahead and get you on the plan if you haven't got space yet. At this point in time, for the 2018 show, as of April 3rd in 2017, we had totally finished the priority assignment process. And at that time, we had sent out contracts and invoices to 589 exhibiting companies that had been assigned to 500,638 net square feet. When you look at it right now from the membership standpoint for 2020, right now we have 64 WMIA member companies that have been assigned to 243,172 square feet. WMMA, we have 99 companies that have been assigned to 106,632 square feet. And if you compare it to where we were for final numbers last show, at 249,873 for WMIA, we are almost right there, and we haven't even got all the companies in the show yet. And the same with WMMA. They were 108,648, and we're 106,632. So it looks like we'll have another great show. Payment due date, if anyone might be on the phone talking to the office today, just a reminder, the initial payment will be due May 9th, which is your 10% payment plus your $150 contract processing fee. Since everything is an online process as well, I know there are some companies that have not yet approved the contract terms for the IWF exhibit space, so please do so we can send you an invoice. And I know the office folks will be giving a call probably next week so they can go ahead and get those invoices sent out. Now, getting down to some new items for 2020. First of all, change of the show days. Something that hasn't happened in years and years and years, and has been probably one of the hottest debated items every time we have our exhibitor advisory committee meeting. So changing the show days from a Wednesday through Saturday pattern to a Tuesday through Friday format for 2020, with the dates of August 25th through the 28th. Also, for the first time since 2008, we'll be using all 3 buildings for exhibit space. Buildings A and B will be used for machinery and machinery-related exhibits. Building C and the new BC connector, which was under construction during the 2018 show and is due to be completed in December 2019, that will be used for our supplies and components exhibit space. This will be the largest footprint that an IWF show has ever had gross space-wise available in the Georgia World Congress Center. If we fill it all, it will be the biggest IWF show yet. Now, one other item that will change for the show, the registration area that has been in the lobby, the International Boulevard entrance lobby for as long as I've been with IWF, will be now relocated down into the Building A exhibit hall, on that machinery exhibit floor. We will still have the Building C entrance lobby registration area available. And as we did last show, all attendee badges, all attendee credentials and badges will be printed at the show. So they will have to go through one of those 2 registration areas. And the registration area in Building A being right directly on the show floor is going to be a great advantage for those exhibitors with that traffic walking right onto the floor from registration. Another item changed, due to some of the feedback we got in our exhibitor advisory committee meeting and from other exhibitors at the show. Display regulations are always a challenge, usually when we get on site. It all looks good on paper, but when you got to put it in a booth, sometimes it just doesn't work. So the recommendation was made and accepted by the management committee to change display regulations for the show for 2020 to cubic content, which will be very similar, just as they do in Europe. And what that will do for our smaller exhibitors that are either non-machinery or next to someone with machinery, it allows them to utilize their full booth up to the maximum height of their display configuration. So for example, someone in a 10 by 10 booth where they've always had this setback on the front 5 foot of their booth where nothing could be over 4 feet tall, now they can go all the way up to 8 feet 3. So if they have a header or other signage, it allows them to use more sidewalls for display materials, etc. So I think that will be well accepted for the show. Another new exciting development that Jason kind of alluded to in our strategic plan to create some new and exciting things for the IWF show to be more interactive and experiential, if you will, for our attendees coming to the event. We will be having an IWF sponsored party at the Tabernacle. This will be on Wednesday night, so not the first night of the show. And looking at hours somewhere between 7 to 10 or 7:30 to 10:30. And if anybody is not familiar with downtown Atlanta and the Tabernacle, the building that the Tabernacle is in has had many different lives, and the last one before the Tabernacle was there was House of Blues, but before that it was a church. So it is a very interesting interior design. There are, if you've been to a hard rock establishment, a lot of black light colors, and there are a lot of different rooms and areas to congregate and either have conversations, a lot of different bars, a lot of options. The maximum capacity for this event, 2,200 people, which will be on a complimentary basis. That will be open to exhibitors and their guests, as well as attendees for the show. There will be several different sponsorship items available for exhibitors in the IWF show, as well as distributor members from either association that would like to get some recognition at the event, and also get some of the tickets for them and their customers to come and enjoy the event. Jason, you were there. I think it's going to be a very memorable event that will start something off, and live band, enough room to dance if you want to dance, but there's a lot of areas to have fun. And last but not least, one of the strategic directives as well was looking at how do we brand IWF. IWF is always known as the best trade show in the Americas. Everybody knows the IWF brand for that. But what happens in the off year? We drop off your charts. You've got a lot of other shows that you go to. You've still got a staff. We're still selling space for the next coming show. But we want that IWF brand to live on out there. So we're coming up with some new events, new directives in the off year to really get the IWF brand out there that we're more than just a trade show. IWF is an organization to offer education, to offer many other things that you might see at the show that we can do in the off year. So, announced today, we have partnered with Surface and Panel Magazine to create a new event in Grand Rapids, Michigan that will take place October 28th and 29th this year. M Design Live will be the name of the event. It's for the woodworking and interior design industries, which there are many are in that area of the Midwest that is very drivable coming into Grand Rapids. In addition to showcasing the range of innovative materials and products from around the world in the exhibit hall, there will also be powerful keynote presentations and TED Talks that will deal with interior design, trends, and how new processes for things are being made. This will also offer some great networking opportunities that will take place with exhibitors in the exhibit hall, as well as other industry peers during all the networking events for those couple days. Now, if you would like any information about if your company would be applicable to exhibit in the show, you can talk to Jim or myself, but there also are sponsorship opportunities available for this event. But this will be one initiative that you'll see IWF starting to come out of the box very strong with, and there could be others coming up in the future. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Kevin, and congratulations to a tremendous 2018 event. Thank you for all the exciting information coming up for the 2020 and for 2019 events. And one other round of applause for your staff. Jim is here, but certainly Liz, JP, and Debbie back home. Big round of applause for them. All right, so next up we have our Chairman Emeritus, Mr. Scott Mueller.
All right. Thank you. For those of you that may not know me, my name is Scott Mueller with the Edward B. Mueller Company. We're a distributor member based in Cincinnati. I'm currently Chairman Emeritus of WMIA, everybody keeps saying, for a couple more minutes. Really the last task that I have is acting as Chair of the Nominating Committee to elect the next panel of leaders. I just want to take one quick minute and thank Larry and Patricia and Jody and all the other staff that we've had before, as well as the rest of the executive team and everybody that served on the board of directors. I've had a great experience going through sort of the leadership channel. I advise everybody to try to get involved if you can. If you try and you don't succeed the first time, please try again. We are doing a better job getting people interested, so we're in the lucky position where we have actually more people that show interest than we have seats for. But there's always a need for another voice and a very diverse kind of viewpoint. So, what I'm going to do here is a little bit, has to be exact, so I'm going to pretty much read through this to make sure I don't screw anything up. Pursuant to the provisions of Article 7, Section 1 of WMIA bylaws, the nominating committee is led by me, and members include Chairman of the Board Dave Rakauskas, Vice Chairman of the Board Jim Bessinen, and Secretary-Treasurer Pascal Doucette. In 2019, the positions of Chairman of the Board, Vice Chairman of the Board, and Secretary-Treasurer are up for election. The open position of Chairman of the Board shall be filled by a distributor member. The position of Vice Chairman of the Board shall be filled by an importer member, and the position of Secretary-Treasurer shall be filled by a distributor member. Additionally, there will be 6 board seats, 2 importer seats, 3 distributor seats, and 1 associate seat up for election. 1 importer director position has a 3-year term, 1 has a 2-year term, the distributor director positions have 1, 2, and 3-year terms, and the associate director position has a 2-year term. It's not usually this complicated. This is kind of a one-time thing. Under Article 7, Section 2 of the WMIA bylaws, active members of the WMIA can nominate a candidate qualified for the various elective offices by submitting a nominating petition to the WMIA signed by 20 importer or distributor members, supporting the nomination and accompanied by a statement by the candidate that he or she will serve if elected. The petition must be received by WMIA not less than 60 days prior to the date of the scheduled election. No such petitions having been received, the nominating committee hereby submits the following slate of officers and board members to be elected by the membership today. For Chairman of the Board, Jim Bessinen, Wood Machinery Systems Incorporated. Vice Chairman of the Board, Pascal Doucette, Doucette Machineries. Secretary-Treasurer, James Scarlett Inc. And Dave Rakauskas will automatically slide over and become the new Chairman Emeritus. For importer directors, we have Joe Hammock from Fulmac for a 3-year term, Volker Schmitz from Schmaltz for a 2-year term. The distributor directors would be Eric Mazurek from Mays Machinery for a 3-year term, Scott Massey from Massey Sales for a 2-year term, and John Benjamin Harrison of John Henderson and Company for a 1-year term. I'm just reading what it says here, John. So, that being the official slate, I would entertain a motion from the floor. We have a motion from Kevin. Second? Second motion. All right, Eric. Any discussion? All right, by just a voice vote, all in favor, aye? Aye. Any nays? All right, so that passes unanimously. Once again, thank you all for your time and your efforts with everything. And now I would like to introduce your new president, Jim Dessinen. Or, sorry, not president, chairman of the board.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It takes a few years to actually get to this position, if you haven't heard what everybody else said. But I'd like to thank everyone here for their support and your recent vote here of confidence in me as your new chairman, but really as your confidence in a team of officers and directors. It's not just one person, but it is truly a group effort here that you've witnessed. Personally, I've been involved with the WMIA for, I guess, starting at the WMDA. A lot of us distributor members had our own organization, and we merged 20 plus years ago. And I guess what's an honor for me is over this period of 25 years, I got to watch a lot of people that I had tremendous respect for professionally hold this title of president or chairman of the board. So it truly is an honor for me to follow in the footsteps of some people that I really have a lot of respect for. And some of them are still in this room today, and others have, retired. But as you've heard from previous people up here today, from Dave, Pascal, and John, our association is really in a really strong financial position right now because of the success of the show. We've been able to introduce a lot of terrific new programs, benefits for really all the members, and I guess the one thing that I would like to say is that my job is looking, pretty easy at this point. They've all done such a great job. I just, don't screw it up, and it runs really, really well. It's a joy to hear how well IWF is doing in terms of growth in booth space, square footage, as well as the number of attendees, and Kevin and his team have been doing an outstanding job. I'd like to thank Dave, really, for his guidance over the last couple of years. And, you've done a great job of introducing these programs for education, and training, and the boot camp has been very, very successful, and adding service to the sales training has been really well received. We look forward to continuing our partnership with the WTII and Pittsburgh State University, and continuing to roll out hopefully this Tech 2 that we've talked about, an advanced service tech training, because we know how important that is for everybody here in our industry. We recognize that the challenges of the one issue that maybe I'll be able to work on going forward is the challenges that we all face in attracting new employees to our industry, and younger employees. And right now you've heard a little bit about this industry collaborative with the other trade associations, the WIC collaborative. WIRC is a new program that we're excited about, that will give hopefully a little higher profile to the woodworking industry going forward, and that will be the key to drawing in some new people. That work collaborative is focused in three different areas. One of them is obviously students coming out of high school, or coming out of or steering them into vocational school, returning veterans from service, or people that have recently left the service, or someone that we're going to target with that marketing initiative, and also people that may have lost their those people transferred over into our industry because we're in such tremendous need for skilled machine operators and employees in general. We're going to continue to reach, hopefully, people all over North America. We've had more Canadian interest lately here too. With our WMIA Education Foundation, we continue to provide scholarships, year after year to people to try to draw them into our industry. I think we're up to about $450,000 of scholarship money that has been given away, and we're going to continue to, we voted again this week on another $30,000 worth of awards. So one other encouraging note about that demographically is we've started to see a little more interest as far as female applicants to for the scholarships, and that's kind of exciting news for us, and we hope that trend continues. That's going to be one area that I think we can focus on here a little bit, is that the demographics in our industry are we don't have a lot of females in the room or in the industry, and I think that we really could improve in that area. So I'm going to try to focus some attention and a spotlight on women in the wood products industry and younger women as well. The two things that I look around, I see a lot of men here and a lot of gray hair, and so what hopefully we can try to start doing is shifting the demographic a little bit to younger people and more females in our group. I'm proud to lead the WMIA for the next 2 years. Really, again, like I said, it's a partnership. I might be the front man or whatever here as the chairman in title for the next 2 years, but really it's a group of people that are engaged, enthusiastic. The committee chairs, the meetings that we've had this week have been really, really outstanding. Input from all the committee members, and they're excited about the challenges in front of them, and it's just great to see the enthusiasm and the turnout here. None of what we're accomplishing here or what we've done in the last 4 or 5 years would be possible without the great staff, that Larry, the great job he's doing personally as president, CEO, and the people that Patricia and Jody, you guys are doing great things. It makes us look good, what you're doing behind the scenes, and so we really appreciate everything that you've done, and hopefully will continue to help us accomplish these goals. I want to again salute Dave and thank him for his last couple of years and the great job that he's done in putting me in a great spot to kind of continue on. And also, my good friend Scott Miller these guys had a little tougher time, years ago. Scott's job was a lot tougher, trying to get things reorganized and getting the ship righted. And so his 2 years was a little more work probably than ours. And so I do really want to appreciate and thank Scott for everything that he's done. The WMIA has made significant strides over the last several years, offering and improving these benefits to all members. And the deliverables have been the educational programs that are very popular, that everybody can utilize. And I just want to end by saying that this is your organization. It's all about what can we do for you, and what can this organization do to help you grow your businesses. And so what we really need is we need your feedback and we need your involvement. And so if anybody out there has got an idea, it may not sound like it's very big or very important, but if there's something that any of you can think of that would make out to myself personally, or any one of the staff, Larry, something like that, someone on the board, and we'd love to hear your comments and concerns. So thank you very much again, and thank you all for coming, and let's enjoy the rest of the WIC conference. All right, Dave. Dave, would you? We have a little gift. I don't know what it is.
Thank you, thank you.
And another lovely plaque to hang on your wall. Oh, tennis balls. That's.
I don't have to retire.
You know, put them on your walker.
Thank you.